Good afternoon, everyone. We'll go ahead and begin. If anybody's forgotten, I'm Donna. Welcome to our second Senate meeting, and I'm visiting the West Campus, and I was noticing how many beautiful fountains you have on this campus. So it's just such a pretty campus, and I'm happy to be able to come down here. So we'll go ahead and kind of go around to the different campuses to get a sense, make sure all of our audio is on. We'll go alphabetical. Downtown campus, Robin, can you hear us all right?
Yes, we can hear you just fine.
Thank you. And how about Nancy at Polytechnic?
We can hear you.
Thank you. Joan, Tempe?
Yep, we can hear you.
Thank you. And then, of course, Owen is sitting here beside me, so I think we're good. And just a quick reminder that if we lose video, we'll take a 10-minute recess. If we lose, but if we still have audio, we'll continue. If we lose audio and video, then we'll just adjourn the meeting and pick it up next month at meeting 3. All right, and then just before we get started, we'll go ahead and just do a quorum, so you all have your clickers. Remember, just because the screen's not working doesn't mean anything. So go ahead and just select your campus for me, please. Thank you, everybody. And Chuck, if you see that well and we look like we have a quorum.
Yes, we do, Donna. We've got 84 responses right now.
Thank you so much. And then let's go ahead, and when you're ready, we'll go ahead and, looks good. Thank you very much. So far, so good. And then for our Monday quiz. Which of the following online systems is the correct location for senators to review information regarding new course proposals? Looks like our numbers have slowed down. Yeah, everybody's Google. We're all Googling the answer. Do we have a quorum, Chuck?
Well, yes, we're waiting on a couple of people to make their guess. We don't want to shortchange them here.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Okay, we've got
Thank
89
you.
responses, and it looks like 58 of them got it correct.
Yay! We need to work on that a wee bit, but that's all right. It is Monday after all. Well, thank you, everybody. So I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, please. And to begin with, we have an informational report, and I'd asked Jillian McManus to come, and she is the Senior Director at ASU Organizational Health and Development in the Employee Assistance Office. And there should have been handouts that came in advance of the meeting to review. There's a few that we have. Otherwise, I was hoping to ask Jillian to come up to the podium and kind of talk about some of the programs that we have for our faculty, our academic assembly, staff, and students. Thank you again, Jillian, for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm Jillian McManus. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. So I'm just going to take a few minutes of your time, not very much, but I just want to go over some of the programs and services that we have available for faculty and staff. I oversee the Employee Assistance Office and the Employee Wellness Office. And really, in essence, my job covers kind of the well-being of our workforce, our physical, mental, some financial aspects of well-being. So I'm really kind of coming at this from more of a global perspective and an integrative perspective rather than just mental health or preventative health care. But I do want to kind of point out that the team that I work with consists of all licensed health providers, nurses, psychiatry, counselors, social workers, things of that nature. And we're all licensed, and I think that's really important because some of the things that my office might talk about with folks or work with you on can be really private, critical information. So as licensed providers, we are bound by all HIPAA requirements and confidentiality in working with folks. So one of the things that I like to really impress upon folks is anything and everything that we offer through my office is completely confidential, voluntary. Everything is voluntary per your choice, and there are no costs to any of the services that we offer. Ideally, what we're trying to do is remove the barriers of finances or access or things of that nature in order to ensure people are taking care of their health and well-being. Now, my staff will work with individuals on personal and or professional concerns, and sometimes our personal lives kind of interfere with our professional and vice versa. So we really are kind of well-versed in dealing with issues across the spectrum that come up into people's lives and might affect their ability to function at their best. So what is a service or a program? I think sometimes we get very general and generic, but we do some very specific things. We provide information and education, which could be anything from we are looking for a community resource for my aunt who is now homeless. We will find you a food box in the local community. Even though we don't offer them, we will find that for you and get you connected. We do classes on stress management, on heart health. We will do classes on nutrition and eating well, things of that nature. We also do assessments and referrals. So an assessment could be anything from, I think I may have depression or anxiety, but I'm not sure. I haven't been feeling so great. So we will help assess what's going on and what maybe the best interventions might be. Sometimes that's all people want to know. They want to kind of get the assessment, figure out where things are going, and then get a referral for longer-term care or for a referral into the community. Actually, over the past couple of weeks, several of the school districts around the county have been doing signs of suicide and things like that. And we've had several parents come in and say their teenagers, had some questions or wanted to talk with somebody. So we're able to kind of go through that and assess how are we doing, what do we need, what kind of risk level is this child at, and connecting them with what might be the best intervention for them. We also do health screenings, mini health screenings we offer every single month around the university, usually several times on the Tempe campus and at least once a month at every other campus. And these screenings are, you register for an appointment, we do height, weight, BMI, body mass index. We will do a venous draw and do cholesterol levels, glucose levels, things like that. You get those results, and that is for you to share with your doctor or just kind of keep tabs on your own health. There's no fees or anything like that. We also provide brief counseling up to 6 sessions. That can be anything, personal, professional. It can be marriage, it can be family, it can be whatever is going on in your lives. And that is free. There are no co-pays. We don't bill insurance. All of that just stays in-house, so it's very easy to access. And then we were talking about, Deb Clark and I were talking about some of the consults that our office will do. So my office will speak with folks if they have concerns about the mental health or well-being of a colleague, of someone on campus, how to approach someone, how to get someone help. If there's a dangerous behavior that you've noticed, and we want kind of a psychological perspective on what is the level of risk being presented on campus, we will help with those and have telephone consults or meetings with you all to help work through those processes. And crisis support. We're not a crisis team. We are not there 24/7. We're not there after hours or anything like that. But when there is some kind of critical incident on campus, we will respond and help support the individuals or the team that might be affected. We have a very large community, and we have losses on campus sometimes, and we will help debrief with the team, help folks recognize what are the signs and symptoms of normal grief, how to support one another, and what to do if things are not going so well. And then probably the thing most people are quite familiar with is our flu shot program, because we get emails constantly, where is the next flu shot date? So we oversee the flu shot program for faculty and staff. Once again, none of the services that we provide are open for students, just for faculty and staff. We are separate units. There's another unit that works with students. So the flu shot program is coming next month, the beginning of October. We'll be running clinics over the course of the first kind of 3 weeks of October. I sent out, or I gave out flyers for that as well. So if you have any comments or concerns about when or where they are, we should be able to access those. Give us a call. We'd be happy to send you more flyers if you need them, an electronic version if you want to pass them around to your teams. We want to make sure that everyone has information in their hands that they might need. And then finally, the HIP program. This is a relatively new program that we offer. It's only been in existence for, I think we're going on the 4th year at this point. And the Health Impact Program is a program designed to engage folks in preventative health care measures. We know that people that engage in preventative health care have better health outcomes. So this program is really designed just to prompt, remind you, and incentivize you with a very small incentive payment, up to $200, minus taxes, but up to $200 every year for engaging in preventative health care. Things like getting your teeth cleaned annually, going to the eye doctor on a regular basis, getting a well woman or well man exam, getting a flu shot, taking a health risk assessment so you have some solid information about where your health risks are and where your strengths may be. So that is an opt-in program that individuals self-report their preventative health care behaviors. You earn points over the course of the year. If you get 500 points, you will be getting that $200 incentive the first quarter of 2019. It will then start again in January. Every January it rolls over once again. I see some people shaking their heads. They've gotten their payment. This year, there have been some increases to our benefits. So we're really trying to let folks know that this program can supplement that increase just by engaging it. You can kind of clear the balance there. You also have information about the HIP program. It will give you information about how many points there are, how to register, how to log on. One of the things I tell people with any program, you can push a program out there, but if you don't have a contact person to help you through it, it kind of is worthless. So one of the things that we have a nurse on campus that is dedicated to this program. If you can't sign on, sign in, you don't know how to get your last few points, she will literally come to your office. She will sit down and help you through it. Okay, that's Liz Badalamente. So these are the basic programs that we offer during the course of every year to try and keep you focused on your health and well-being so you can then focus on the health and well-being of our community, our students, and do the work that we really are all here to do. So why is this important? This is my 2 minutes of education. I just cannot get in front of a crowd and not say some of this stuff. So one of the things that we know to be true is that 1 in 5 adults suffer with mental health conditions in any given year. This is common. It is common to have an experience of anxiety or depression or grief, more common than some of us are willing to admit or realize. 1 in 4 adults have 2 or more chronic health conditions. Our programs are designed to help you monitor your own health, not to do it for you or tell you what to do, but to give you the tools necessary to manage and monitor these things. Depression, really common condition. If untreated, people will miss 22 to 32 days of work a year. That is a lot of missed time. When it is treated, we can drop that down significantly, really significantly. And then my last point, 80% of high-risk drinkers are employed full-time. This does not mean addiction. This does not mean abuse of alcohol. It just means when people are drinking at higher levels, they tend to have worse health outcomes. More trips, spills, and falls, or accidents, or minor arguments, or missing a deadline. And now I'm going to see you all counting on your fingers. For men, 14 drinks or more per week. For women, it's 7 or more, puts you in that high risk category. So just monitoring that if you're staying under those levels, you're probably okay, and these are just guidelines to keep in mind. Also really good guidelines to teach your family, friends, and children who have no concept of what these numbers are. So good to share with them as well. So one of the other things I like to say is, it's pretty obvious when we are not personally in a good place, when our well-being is compromised, usually we are giving off signs or symptoms that we are not doing well. And I encourage people to just pay attention to your own red flags or those you care about or love or work with. Simple things like a change in performance, absenteeism, when you find out you are frustrated, irritated, yelling at people, or crying for no real reason, probably not as well as you might want to be. So how can we improve well-being at work? You know, one of the biggest things is just being invited here today and to share what services we have available and to encourage people to make use of them in any way we possibly can. The biggest thing is awareness. We've been on this campus doing this wellness and EAP combo for 33 years, and still people will go, I didn't know we had it. And usually it's in a time of crisis that someone starts looking for a support service after a heart attack, or when someone they care about is suffering from depression. Then they want to reach out and look, which is fabulous. But we want to let people know on the front end that all of this is available to you as a benefit to being employed at the university. And really how to keep that awareness going is by communicating in venues like this, in your units, throughout your departments and your colleges, connecting folks who might benefit from knowing about who we are and what we do, supporting one another. The biggest thing is creating a community that cares about one another, that supports one another, and that focuses on our well-being as a top priority. And then engaging in whatever is valuable, helpful, or salient to your needs and desires. So, that is my big spiel for the day. Just wanted to make sure you were all aware. But I do want to answer any questions. I know a lot of times people have questions about either the HIP program or flu shots or how do you access a mental health benefit? What do you do? If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Yeah, we have a question from West Campus. We'll start here.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi. Sorry. So I just had a question about the. Hi. I had a question about the ratio of adults that have mental conditions, or the 1 in 4 slide that you showed. I'm just curious whether that number is higher or lower for late youth, and I'm thinking about our teens, our first-year students are coming into ASU, whether that number is greater or lower.
So that number is for adults, so it's 18 and over. We are having more and more concerns with younger individuals, and I'm not sure where I'm looking. Should I look at the screen or up here? Screen? Okay. I just want to talk to them. We're having more problems with our younger folks. At this point, there is a significant trajectory that young folks are having greater problems with their mental health over the course of the past few years, and that trajectory is still continuing in an upward trend, unfortunately. There was a question here in Tempe.
Yeah, do we have any questions in Tempe? Thank you. If you could announce yourself and what program you're with too, please.
Roger Windhorst, School of Earth and Space. So I've been here for a long time, 31 years. I've not seen it all to have a student in my class last fall who was at the Las Vegas shootings. Needless to say.
We can't hear you from West.
Is this better?
Thank you. Perfect.
So we had a student in my class, the ASD Labs, who was at the Las Vegas shootings last fall, and needless to say that he was devastated and we needed to get him extra help. So I put this ASU counseling phone number and website on my class website. I urge everybody to do this. As I started out saying, I thought I had seen it all last year. And then this semester, 2 weeks ago, within 1 week, I had 2 students who were affected by shootings, one of which got shot during a fraternity party, and another one had his brother killed at the Jacksonville mass murder a number of Sundays ago. And the reason I bring this up, I think it's really important to monitor these kids, because at the moment they both think they're doing okay, but I'm not sure. And I think it's really good that students like this or anybody else who is under great duress that they get referred to counseling services.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I absolutely agree. And it does take a community, because we have, on the student side, they have 30 or 40 counselors. On my side, we have 4. So we're a small group of individuals. We really rely on all of you to be the eyes and the ears and to share your concerns and observe behaviors when a student or a colleague is not doing well, and to take action. Because that is really the most helpful component when someone cares about an individual enough to ask how they're doing and can they help them to find help. Most impactful way of getting someone the support that they need. So thank you.
the critical thing for me was to, so I kept some emails of a few years ago, and of course that person was no longer in charge, so I had to go to the provost who referred me to James Rund, I think it was. And so in the end, there was an email address that is generally read by people who deal with this. It's called Dean of Students at asu.edu. So if you see anybody in serious distress, I think you need to refer them to those people.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you indeed. Let me see if anyone in Polytechnic has some questions for
We have
Jillian.
another question. We have another question here, Donna. Hang on.
Thank you, Joan.
Hi, my name is Bill Fabricius. I'm in psychology, and regarding this issue, it's just I've been wondering for a little while whether it might be useful for the university to do a general assessment of our incoming freshmen. In psychology, we have lots of tools for assessing mental health with relatively short surveys. I'm just wondering if amassing a database where we could look at historical trends, or we could look at different group rates of risk factors, not on an individual basis, but just, it would be anonymous, but it would be a database of what our incoming class looks like and what are the trends and where we might focus information. So I'm just wondering if people might think that's a good idea.
There are, actually on the student side, there are regular annual surveys that are done around behavioral health, physical health, substance use, a variety of factors that are done on an annual basis to kind of assess where our student body is, what the trends are, because programming then is kind of managed through what the spikes they're seeing and what prevention efforts that they can take. So absolutely, that is being done, but I will absolutely share it with my colleagues on the student side to see if there's some more that can be done. Thank you.
Any
Other
further questions in Tempe?
No, I don't think so.
All right, then let me go ahead and see if anybody has questions on Polytechnic campus, please.
No questions from Poly.
All right, and thank you. And on downtown? Robin?
Looks like we don't have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. All right, well, I thank you again, Jillian, for coming and sharing this information. Very valuable. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, all right. Well, I'll go ahead and begin kind of the chair's report, and I'll begin first by highlighting our senator spotlight. This month is Deepak Chhabra, who is with the School of Community Resources and Development in the Tourism and Development Division. Deepak is serving her third year in the Senate and has been here at ASU for 13 years. So thank you. She's spent these 3 years preoccupied with 3 committees to include Research and Creative Activities, Student Faculty Policy Committee, and I suspect still ongoing with General Studies Council. Deepak shared that her work with the Senate is an excellent platform to get involved and be informed at the university level. This position helps to stay updated on recent regulations and issues associated with shared governance. It offers a bigger picture of how ASU operates at the university level, and it's a wonderful opportunity to represent your unit. So again, I just want to thank Deepak for her fantastic service to the Senate and to the university as well. We'll go ahead and kind of look at a couple of open forum items from last Senate meeting. The first was on resources for our transgender students. I asked, we should have a slide that will come up that will at least provide a link to the resources for transgender students. It's a great resource that provides, it was student-developed resource, online resource, and it provides some great guidelines for faculty, provides some great guidelines for our students. One of the concerns was the method in which an individual's name might be displayed, which may not be their preference, and so obviously that's going to bring some undue stress for our students. So we are still kind of working on that. What's nice though is, and the catch is, you still have to legally change your name. And if you look further into the site, you'll see that there's actually a resource and link for a fee deferral if it is an undue financial burden for our students, because we don't need to add additional stress on top of what we provide them in our classwork. So that's one piece I just wanted to share with you, and that we're looking to see how in Blackboard and then in Canvas can we alter that so it displays the name of choice. Another issue that was, or concern that was brought up at Open Forum at the first Senate meeting was about liability insurance that was being requested through the Herber Institute. And so I know that I've asked Stephanie Lindquist and I believe Deb Clark are both kind of working to see, to follow up with the dean to make sure that they can kind of continue this semester with all of the great programs and guests that they have at the Institute. I know another thing just to kind of keep in mind is already we're into our, I think, 7th week. June 30th will be here sooner than we know, and that's when I know some people call it the doomsday countdown, but I've only heard great feedback about those who've been using Canvas, and if you are still having questions about Canvas, there should be, we'll send it out as well with the kind of the email to everybody, but there are some resources that you can use to find out when are continuing and ongoing training sessions. They've got them literally all semester. Even if you just go to the LMS site, you can pull up information on, contact information, how to port your classes over, and some of the, or even just have a more one-on-one collaboration with any questions you have. So just want to make sure you guys have that familiarity with it, because I know it's a learning process, and some people just embrace it wholeheartedly. We've had incredible increase in courses that are being offered in Canvas. That's fantastic. Another piece that I just want to kind of bring you up to date on, this is something that was a Senate initiative that began, I believe, 2 years ago. And it's a new link in the ACD. It's as I'm sure you'll all remember, ACD 304-11. But what it is about is it's very similar to the policy that we have for our student athletes and or for students who are involved in activities associated with the university. This one is missed classes due to military line of duty activities and kind of provides all of our faculty guidance for those individuals who they don't need to withdraw, they don't need an incomplete, they just need to make up assignments that they've missed because of something entirely out of their control. So we already have policies, like I said, they're almost identical for student athletes and then, of course, university-sanctioned activities, and that's all. So that's just a nice resource if you're looking for some additional reading. Another reminder, just we had concerns last academic year with this, is just make sure to kind of, if you haven't done this yet, it is about a 90-minute process, but to go through and complete your Title IX training, again, we'll send a link to that too. I don't think we have a slide for that, but we'll send a link for that too. So some people, I know we had a pretty good surge for the end of the last academic year, so just something to keep in mind. Another thing that's kind of fun that's coming up is ASU's Commission on the Status of Women and the ASU Staff Council Professional Development Conference. That's coming up on October 17th and 18th, and it's free, so everything after that's negotiable, so it's free for all faculty, staff, and students. And it'll be on West and Downtown Phoenix campus on the 17th, and Poly on the 17th, and then on the 18th on Tempe campus. And, I'd encourage you guys to attend. There's something for everybody. Again, there'll be a link with that as well, but, I was looking through the schedule, some great information on project management, leadership management, conflict resolution, conflict management. There's just something for everybody, and there's pieces in the morning and the afternoon. I would really encourage you all to go. And again, that will be another link followed up in the email today. And then the last item that I have for you guys to kind of bring up to date is just if you have the opportunity to, as the season of giving and holidays, I know we haven't quite reached even Halloween yet, but there'll be a blood drive sponsored by the Senate on November 27th. This is in Tempe, though. So, but that was just the last piece that I wanted to kind of communicate with everybody. And then with that, if all is well, I'll go ahead and start with our new business, and I'll ask Lily Wang if she would come up. Remember, she's our CAPC chair, and if you could just kind of introduce walk us through some of the new motions on the first read, please.
Thank you, Donna. Hi, everyone. The following motions and proposals will be taken up at the CAPC meeting this Thursday, September 27th, and then will be brought back to the Senate for a vote at our next meeting on October 29th. So if you have any questions, concerns, or suggestions, please get them to me, preferably by Thursday, so we can make sure that they are addressed at the CAPC meeting. And certainly let us know before the next Senate meeting so we can make sure that all parties that have an interest can be represented. The items listed in Appendix A will be brought up at the CAPC meeting, but will not be brought up here before the Senate. So if you have any questions or concerns or suggestions, please get those to me by Thursday morning. So here are the motions. Request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Historical, Philosophical, and Religious Studies for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Sports, Cultures, and Ethics. Request from the new College of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, School of Mathematical and Natural Sciences for the establishment of a graduate program, MS Biological Data Science. Request from the new College of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, School of Humanities, Arts, and Cultural Studies for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Arts and Humanities in Games. Request from the new College of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, School of Science, Social and Behavioral Sciences for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Communication Training and Assessment. Request from the College of Public Service and Community Solutions, School of Social Work for the establishment of a graduate certificate, Domestic Violence and Evidence-Based Practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. So those are our first reads. We'll come back at our next Senate meeting and vote on those. And then for old business, these are items that we will vote on. This is our consent agenda. I'll ask Lily to come back again and read through our course proposals that were probably sent to you about a couple of weeks ago for your review.
So the following motions and proposals were approved at the last CAPC meeting on August 30th. So request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Historical, Philosophical, and Religious Studies for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, for the disestablishment of an undergraduate certificate, Southeast Asian Studies. Request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Department of Psychology for the establishment of a graduate certificate, Applied Prevention Science. Request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Earth and Space Exploration for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Field Geology. Request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, Dean's Office for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Veteran Society and Service. Request from the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Historical, Philosophical, and Religious Studies for the name change of an undergraduate certificate from Political Thought and Leadership to Political History and Leadership. Request from the College of Nursing and Health Innovation for the disestablishment of a graduate certificate, Biospecimen Repository Administration. Request from the Ira A. Fulton Schools of Engineering for the establishment of a graduate degree, MS in Robotics and Autonomous Systems. Request from the new College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Mathematical and Natural Sciences for the establishment of an undergraduate degree, BS in Computational Forensics. Request from the new College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, School of Mathematical and Natural Sciences for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Applied Cybersecurity. Request from the new College of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, School of Mathematical and Natural Sciences for the establishment of an undergraduate certificate, Data Science. Request from the College of Public Service and Community Solutions for the name change of a graduate degree from MS in Program Evaluation to MS in Program Evaluation and Data Analytics. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. I'll go around to the 4 campuses and see if anyone has anything they'd like to remove from the consent agenda. So we'll go ahead and again start with Robin on the downtown Phoenix campus. Anybody? No, we're good. Thanks, Donna. Robin. And I'll go ahead and Nancy, anyone on Polytechnic campus, please.
Nothing to remove.
Thank you. Joan, anyone in Tempe?
No, I don't see anyone.
Fantastic. And anyone here on West? I think we look good. Fantastic. Well, great. Well, I'll go ahead and call a vote. If you all could make your selection, please.
Donna, it looks like we have 95 votes.
Fantastic. Thank you. So, all right then, that motion. Okay.
Let me know when you want me to close it, and you can see the results.
Okay, please go ahead then. Thank you, Chuck. Wonderful. Thank you. So 93, motion is passed. Thank you, everyone.
And Donna, I'm sure you're going to backtrack and do the new course proposals now, because we didn't do that.
Let's see, where was, Cert will go over, sorry, I must have passed right by there. Yep. So yeah, our new course proposals, we'll vote on those also in bulk unless we have anything to remove as well.
So did you want to go around to the campuses and ask?
Sure. I'm sorry. So again, I'll start again with downtown. We'll just continue alphabetically. Anything to remove from the new course proposal that brought out some concerns?
No, we're fine, Donna.
Thank you, Robin. And then Nancy and Polly, anything from the new course proposal consent agenda to be removed?
No, nothing.
All righty. Joan and Tempe, anything?
No.
Fantastic. And in West, are we solid? All right. Well then, looks like nothing to be removed from the consent agenda. And if, Chuck, you could tell me when it looks like we have a slowing of the numbers.
Okay, I'll do that.
Thank you.
Okay, last call for voting. We've got 92 responses.
Let's go ahead and close the vote then, please, Chuck.
94 yes, 0 no, 2 abstain.
Well done. All right, then that motion is passed too. Thank you, everyone. And then we'll go ahead and we have just 2 committee chair reports. We'll have maybe first Hongmin Lee, chair of the Personnel Committee, if she would please come and provide a report summary.
Well, the Personnel Committee really have a lot to work this year. So our first committee meeting is set on October 1st, and we'll start with an RFC item that has been worked on for 2 years, and this is about parental leave when both parents are ASU employees. So we're going to prepare a motion for Senate approval basically allowing both employees that worked at the ASU, if they're the parents, to get their entitled, I think, 6 weeks of leave. Okay. So, and we're going to spend a lot of our time and energy on RFC 124, which is a salary and merit pay system. So our goal is to move this up in the decision makers' priority list. Obviously, to make that happen, we need a lot of data. And so all senators are encouraged to contribute your discipline-specific salary comparison data. So because salaries vary by discipline, so we would like to get your discipline-specific data. So if you're willing to do that, it would be highly appreciated. And two other things relating to salary that we would like to bring to the attention of decision makers are the transparency and salary comparison issues. So last time we polled senators, a lot of you are not very happy with how the system works because you don't really know a whole lot about it. So we would like to get the system to be more transparent so people know what's going on. Okay. Another item that we will be working on is about the process for approving unit bylaws. There's a request for moving this faster. So we're thinking about ways of creating templates for fast bylaw approvals if that's necessary. Okay. And there is an item that's forwarded by the non-tenured eligible subcommittee about payment for sick time hours. So right now, I think everyone are accruing sick hours over time, but we don't really know what to do with it, and we're not sure whether that brings us any benefit. So we'd like to get more information about that, and hopefully, can become a real benefit. And also, there's another item that brought forth by the NTE subcommittee. This is the RFC 172. It's about how ASU Online is to be funded and how that relates to each academic unit. So we would like to delve deeper into the issue, to understand the issue, and see how that can be explained or rationalized. And also, NTE subcommittee is going to, we're going to staff 7 members to that subcommittee, and they will be working on a series of issues relating to instructor career development, funding, sabbatical type of leaves, and also career paths, and among other issues. So maybe throughout this process, if any senators are willing to contribute to that committee, please contact Dave Wells, who's going to be leading the subcommittee.
Thank you, Hongmin. And then if I might also ask Stefania Traconia, Chair of the Student Faculty Policy Committee, to please provide a report.
The Student Faculty Policy Committee is already hard at work. We had our first meeting on September 14, and here are some of the items on the agenda. We're working on developing a document containing guidelines for faculty-student interactions on social media platforms. Once finalized, the document will be submitted to the Provost's office for review and then distributed to faculty. Then we are in the process of writing a motion that would require students to withdraw 3 or more times from the same course to consult with either an advisor or the instructor or both to receive approval before enrolling in the same class. We're working on a proposal that would require online students to have a photo ID on file with ASU. We've been pushing for this for years now, as part of the acceptance process into the online program. And we're planning to propose a revision to ACD 804, Tobacco-Free Campus, to include a ban on vaping. And finally, we're working on including the open access policy, which was approved last year by the Senate in the ACD manual. That's it. for now.
It's a full slate. Thank you, Stefania. Both Hongmin and Stefania have full plates to work on. And that's all we have for our reports. I'd like to open up the forum for any questions, please. And I'll just go around the different campuses again and start with downtown.
Anybody have anything? No, we don't have any questions. Thanks, Donna.
Sure thing. Thank you. Nancy, in Polytechnic, anything that we can help with?
No questions here.
All right. Anyone in Tempe?
Yes.
Yes, I'm John Mitchell from the School of Film, Dance, and Theater, and last meeting, my colleague Crystal Griffith, who is not here today, brought up the issue of the guest artist and the insurance and the terrible troubles we are having. I want to report that after speaking with our business manager that things have gotten a lot better, so I want to thank you very much, thank the Senate President for bringing this to the attention of the powers that be, so that I understand they're looking for a long-term solution, but in the meantime, they're working very closely with us to make sure that these artists can get to campus and can work with our students. So thank you once again.
John, that's wonderful news. Thank you very much. Any other questions in Tempe?
No.
Okay, thank you, Joan. Anyone here in West? Please. We're just grabbing a mic quickly. Sorry.
Hi, so this is a question about Canvas and, I guess, transgender students. So by default, Canvas displays a people link, and I think that should be hidden because I did have an issue this semester with a transgender student whose name has not been officially changed yet. And I didn't realize that this is my first time using Canvas, and the student saw that their name was displayed to all other students. So I think for privacy issues, that should be hidden by default before an instructor can have a chance to hide it. But is there anybody that I should notify about that to make that change or to request that change?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know in the UTO office, there are several people working. It is a default, so they're working on this now, and I believe looking for a solution before the end of this semester. But I know that doesn't help people going back, but hopefully going forward, we'll have a better solution. But I can definitely follow up and gain some more insight. We're currently doing it, came up with our last Senate meeting as well. So I appreciate your sharing that with us. Sincerely. Any other questions in West Campus? Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we are adjourned. Thank you.